Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. So I'm your English teacher. So today we will be speaking about time and tense. So what do you mean by time and tense, and how do we correlate time and tense? It is according to the time that we identify tense. Is it? So we are speaking about an action which happened yesterday. So we say that it's a past tense. So we will speak about a action which happened today. So we'll say that it's a present tense. And if we wanted to say something about the things which are going to happen, what do we use? We use future tense. And today we will speak about present tense. As you know, there are 4 subdivisions in present tense, namely simple present, present continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous. So we won't speak about all those 4 today, but instead we will speak only about these 2 tenses, that is simple present and present continuous tense. You might know the structure of simple present tense, that is subject V1, that is base form of the verb plus object. And what is the definition of present continuous tense? It is subject plus is or are plus verb plus ing plus object. So you might have studied all these things in your previous classes. We won't go deep into all those, but we will speak about the uses and how are these tenses is used to indicate. So there are different ways in which we use simple present tense as well as present continuous tense. So we will talk about all those things. First, we move on to see about the simple present tense is used to indicate in different actions or different situations. So we will see that. So the first and foremost, in order to speak about a fact, we will use simple present tense. So if you are saying a fact, always we will use a simple present tense. For example, a magnet attracts iron. So it is a fact, and we always say it in a simple present tense. And the next one, repeated actions, customs and habits. So the repeated actions, customs, habits and all those things will be said in a simple present tense. For example, he visits his family every weekend. So it's a habit like, or else it's a repeated action, because every weekend he goes to his family and it becomes a repeated action, and we will say it in a simple present tense. Or else he whitewashed a house before Diwali. So the whitewash or the painting happens before every Diwali, and we can say it is a repeated action which happens. So that kind of sentences also will be said in a simple present tense. And the next one is abilities. Like she plays tennis very well, or he plays cricket very well, because it's a ability, or he sings well, or she sings well. So it's an ability of the person. So when we speak about an ability of the person, we always say in a simple present tense. He studies well, or you study well. So all these things will be said in a simple present tense, because we are speaking about an ability of the person. So we always use simple present tense in order to say an ability of the person. And the last one, that is the future. So what does it indicate? Like after if, in likely conditional clauses, as if he comes tomorrow, we shall resume the game. So what does it mean? It is not actually a sentence which is in simple present, but it is a sentence in simple present, but we say a future action with the help of a simple present. But this will be used only in conditional clauses, like the use of if will be used in the sentences. For example, if he comes tomorrow, we shall resume the game. So here, with the help of simple present, we are speaking about a future action. So don't forget that we don't always use a few simple present tense in order to say future action, but only with the help of conditional clauses we use simple present tense in order to speak about future action. For example, when the rain stops, we shall go out. So here, what does it indicate? It is a conditional clause. If the rain stops, we shall go out. So it's a future action which will be happening, but it is said with the help of simple present tense. So that is all about simple present tense, and facts, repeated actions, customs, habits, abilities, and in order to speak about future action, we will use simple present tense. I think it is clear to you. And now we move on to the second one, that is present continuous tense is used to indicate. So in the beginning, usually we use present continuous tense in order to speak about what is happening now, or else what is happening now at present and the things which are continuing. For example, we are eating, or she is singing, I am teaching. So this happens continuous. It's a continuous action which happens at present. So we will speak about the things which are happening now, and those kind of sentences will be said in the present continuous tense. So you might know the structure of present continuous tense, as I said in the beginning, that is subject plus is or am or are plus verb plus ing plus object. So you might have studied all these things in your previous classes, so I don't think I have to go deep into all those. And so we will move on to the second point in present continuous tense, that is temporary habits. So what do you mean by temporary habits? Like I am traveling by bus to my office. So we won't be able to say that he travels always in the bus. Sometimes he goes with a two-wheeler or something. So it's a temporary habit. It's not a usual habit. So when we speak about a repeated action or customs or habits, we will use a simple present tense. But when it comes to a temporary habit or a temporary action, what do we use? We use a present continuous tense. For example, I am traveling by bus to my office. Or else students are learning fast these days. So it is not so necessary that students should learn fast these days. So there might be students who may not be able to learn so fast. So all those are temporary habits. So people won't be able to continue with all those. So all those temporary habits will be said in a present continuous tense. And now we move on to the next one, that is future. So in order to speak about a future action, we will use a present continuous tense. For example, I am going to the town tomorrow, or I am going to the market in the evening. So it is a future action which will be happening, but the future action is said with the help of a present continuous tense. For example, when are you coming tomorrow? So it's a question which is asked, and it is about an action which will be happening in the future, but it is said with the help of a present continuous tense. My nephew is arriving this morning or this evening. So what does it indicate? It indicates a future action which will be happening, but it is said with the help of a present continuous tense. And the last one about present continuous tense is the repeated happening or a coincidence. So what is that? Rina is always losing happen. So it's a repeated action or a coincidence thing. It is not a purposely done. It's not an action which is purposely done. I mean, losing of the pen is not purposely done, but it happens coincidentally. So what do we do? So repeated actions or coincidence will be said in a present continuous tense. Or else his bicycle is always breaking down. So it is not his fault or the person's fault, but it is by coincidence, or it's a repeated happening. It becomes a repeated happening. So all those kind of sentences will be said in a present continuous tense. So we will end the session by revising all these things once again. That is, we spoke about present tense, and there are 4 subdivisions in present tense. So we have learned about simple present and present continuous tense in this class. So in the simple present tense is used to indicate about facts, repeated actions, customs, habits, abilities, and future actions. And when we speak about the present continuous tense, is used to indicate what is happening now, temporary habits, the future, and the repeated happening or coincidence things which happens. So this is all about the present tense, and we will continue with the other two sessions in the next class. Thank you.